Let's talk about drainage slope.
People are always asking me, hey, can you help me design my French drain? It's pretty darn easy, man. Just run that pipe through all your low areas. Just run it through the low areas and put it on 1% slope. Get it to a ditch or a storm drain. And if you get so deep you can't drain it to the ditch or storm drain, you put a pump system in. The pump will lift the water up out of the trench and then inject it into the storm drain. Do I need slope on my French drain? This is going to represent a French drain. This wall is level. So we have a rain event. The French drain is level, no slope, but it goes to a pop-up. See what happens? The water runs to the pop-up. You're leaving water behind for tree roots. Tree roots love that. They're going to fill your trench. No slope with a pop-up. So what do? We would run this, and if we didn't have very much slope, we'd save it to the very end and use it so that we can empty out that portion of the French drain. I think this is going to be a good visual for everybody too, right here. All right, so level. We're going level. We're going to run it to a storm drain or a ditch. This wall's level. All right, guys, all the water runs out of it and it's level. I don't know what to say. This is it, man. It's as simple as that. You could run a French drain level to a ditch, to a storm drain, if you don't have the fall. But you got to take it if you have it, because in this imperfect world that we live in, none of us can get that bottom of that French drain perfect. So as soon as you put some slope on this, the water runs out of that up and down areas, and then the French drain will work with even a pop-up if you got slope. So there you have it. There's the 101 of slope, guys. How do I, as a homeowner, figure out slope? I'm going to show you how to do that for under $5. Take one of your shovels, jump on it in the trench, or it could be outside of the trench. You'll see why. Jump on the other shovel, have yourself 100 inches in between. Measure it to be 100 inches. So I am 100 inches between shovels. If this measures 1 inch higher from the bottom of the trench to the string than it does upstream here, because we're draining it to the corner of the yard, then that would mean I have 1% slope. And I'll show you. I'm going to give you an example. So make sure your line level bubbles be in between the lines there. Make sure it bubbles. So that line is level. Let's see what we measure at here. So we're 50 inches from the bottom of the trench to the level line. Let's go down here. Now we're downstream. Keep that in mind. All right, so we're 53 inches. That means we have 3 inches of drop in 100 inches of run. That means there's 3% slope on this trench. I hope this helped all my DIYers out there. Here's a great way to check the trench bottom to make sure you got enough slope and you don't have any bellies. If you have a clay trench, this works well because you will not undermine your trench. Run water through your trench. Make sure that you have good slope, no bellies. This is so easy for the DIYer to double check their work, or the young contractor, or the experienced contractor who just wants to make sure that his laser level is still calibrated. This trench drained beautifully. There was no bellies, no large areas of puddling. We had really good flow. Right here, I'm showing you how to check a trench bottom that is clay. All right, we did a demonstration to show you guys how this works. Super easy, no tools required, yard drain. This is not a French drain. We got a line level. All right, so we have a line level. We pulled it tight. You can see it's really nice and level. You got your bubble in between the two lines. This represents a flat yard, no slope. That orange line represents your turf. So what we did is we came up with a system to where you can add slope. You can get this water out of your yard. No tools required. Everything's a slip fit, super easy. We have this first catch basin, very shallow dig. It's only 11 inches deep. That's it. You have an end cap. You put the end cap on. We got some pre-drilled holes that you just push the pins in. Just an end cap. That's how you start out the line. We have couplers that slip on the end. We go ahead, we push some push pins in, lock it tight. This is for corrugated pipe. The next catch basin in line, you put a riser on. This is for demonstration purposes only, so we don't have all the push pins in because we're going to break it down as soon as I'm done with this video. You can see we have 2 risers on this basin. We have 3 risers on this basin. So we are creating slope. We have the lawn right here. This is the grass level, and it's flat, no slope. We're building our system with slope so we can move a lot of water. We have 9 inline catch basins here. Of course, if this was a dirt trench, we'd have something supporting our pipe. You can see you get deeper and deeper, and you just keep adding a riser. You don't have to figure out slope. Super easy. Don't need a calculator. Don't need any formula. Just keep adding a riser. When you get to your last basin, here we are. We're at our last basin. We're 20 inches deep. This is perfect because we're going to use a 30-inch sump pump system. Now look at how shallow the guy started this French drain. Look at the elevation. It has slope. It's shallow. Like this part of the French drain, first few feet won't even have pipe in it because it's so shallow. Then you finally get to where you can put 1 pipe in. Then as they go, you can get 2 pipes. Then as it gets deeper, 3 pipes. Now when they come around here, they had to start digging down into the grade because there is pitch. So this gets deep. You can get 4 pipes in a really deep French drain system. We got to put this sprinkler system back together again. Anytime you're running a 4-inch anything, 4-inch roof runoff system, 4-inch French drain, you're going to have to work on the sprinkler lines. You can do a 3-inch French drain system. If you're a DIYer, I encourage it. Beautiful system. You see how shallow we are at the beginning. That's how you get more slope. You find it. You create it. You can see how deep the guys are getting. We've been running 1% slope. Up here, the grade is flat. We don't have much pitch this way. We don't have any pitch that way to speak of. There's really not a nice crown to this yard like there should have been. That's how these yards end up the way they do. If you crowned them, then you're going to trap water over here, and it's going to have a hard time getting to the storm drain. If you crowned it, and you let it shed to the back, and then you swell it back here, you're asking the water to come from the side of the house, down in the swaled area, and then there's this light swale. Well, 1% slope with turf grass, you're not getting the water out of it, and that's what these developers are allowed.
Now I want you to take a look at this storm drain. Imagine if you just ran a pop-up to the storm drain. This whole trench would be filled like a bathtub. If you just put a pipe in there with a pop-up on it and then filled it full of stone, it has to fill up, and it's going to hold all this water before it overflows and goes into the top of the storm drain catch basin. Now we cored the sidewall, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to do a tap here. We're going to use hydraulic concrete to cement a piece of PVC Schedule 40 for a sleeve, and for a sleeve only. And then we have our HDPE, guaranteed not to crack, not to break. It's going to flex, coupler, and that's going to go on that sleeve, that tap, and it's going to connect to the corrugated pipe. Now we drain the bottom of our drain system out completely because we went ahead and we tied in low on the storm drain. If you found this information helpful, give us a thumbs up. It supports the channel. I'm your host, Robert Sherwood, and until the next video.